We've been drinking good. We've been traveling good. We've been eating not so good.
I can't believe you're actually doing this.
But it's time to get back to what the pulse for this whole channel was all about, homebrewing. And today we are making the ultimate creamsicle milkshake IPA with the realest ingredients. There's a lot of ways to hack this all-grain homebrew recipe, but we're gonna take the long way home. We're gonna do it right. Stick around. I never try to take the first cut anymore. It's always better if you do it again.
Yeah, we can do it like 4 times.
You ready?
I'm ready.
What's going on, guys? CH?
Yo, Chris from Battle Mage.
What's going on, guys? CH from Homebrew for Life, here with Chris, owner and operator of Battle Mage Brewery in Vista, California.
Where dreams become reality.
What are we brewing today?
So today we are brewing a creamsicle milkshake IPA.
Are we using extract?
No extract. No.
We're not using any extract today. We're not cutting corners today with extract.
All real everything, 100%.
It's a little bit more expensive, but nice things cost money. Mandatory beer chug now?
Yeah.
Mandatory beer chug!
Okay.
That was good. That was good. That was nice. Got some base malt, 2-row, a little bit of wheat in there, some flaked oats to give it that kind of fluffy body. I like using a little bit of victory malt for some more toasted malt character. Kind of lends itself to some malt sweetness, which is what we're going for with the creamsicle. These are all standard things that every homebrew shop should have in stock.
What are we doing with our strike water? What's our situation for this?
So strike water, we're gonna heat up to 165, about 4 gallons. That should yield us a mash temp somewhere around 151, 152. So we're at like 154.
Get on fucked up now!
Yeah, normally what you want to do is always go in a little bit warm, just to be safe, because it's a lot easier to lower the temp than it is to get it higher. So I normally just throw in an ice cube, and that'll drop it a full degree, pretty much.
How long are we gonna mash in?
Because this is a large quantity of base malt, which is has its own enzymes, we only really need to mash for about 30 minutes max. It's probably done in 10, but I'd say 30 to be safe.
Okay, so you heard the man. 30-minute mash, AKA 30 minutes to kill. Let's cut up our 2 vanilla beans. And while we're doing it, let's appreciate the video quality. This is a Sony macro lens. I have absolutely no idea what that means. All I know is it's worth about as much as my life. Maybe even more. We got the Madagascar vanilla beans. These things probably cost even more than the camera lens. Just playing, but they are expensive. It's about $5 a bean. Sprouts, Fraser Farms, farmers markets, Pornhub, you should all have them. How good do they smell? Cut them from top to bottom. Open it up like a fish. It's funny I said that, because it kind of looks like fish eggs in there. Maybe I should have been a comedian. Speaking of which, here's a joke. Why did the scarecrow get a raise? Because he was outstanding in his field.
Right, so we have 10 minutes left on the mash, and we're gonna start heating up our Sparge water. Depending on your system and how fast you can heat water up, you may need to start this earlier than with 10 minutes left, but this burner's pretty legit, so it shouldn't be a problem. Trying to heat the water up to 170, and we're gonna use about 6 gallons. If you're confused at this point, all the step-by-step instructions are gonna be listed below in the description. So now that we've collected all the wort, we are going to boil for only half an hour. The standard would be 60 minutes, but because we're not adding any hop additions throughout the boil to impart bitterness, we're getting all of that from the late addition hops that we're gonna throw in. We only really need to boil it for half an hour. You could do 15 minutes, but half an hour is gonna be safe.
Here's the time of the video where you post to the comment section below, what should we call this beer? The winner will get a shout out in the next video. And we're serious this time. Okay. All right, Flame Out, here we go. 2 vanilla beans. 1 ounce of that sweet boy orange peel. 1 ounce sweet boy orange peel. 1 ounce. 1 ounce sweet orange peel. 2 ounces of Citra. 2 ounces of Mosaic. Oh yeah, and a quarter pound that lactose, that milk sugar. Now we're gonna let this sit here for about 30 minutes. Chris, tell us why.
So we just threw everything in there. We want to let it sit for 30 minutes so that the hops can impart their bitterness. All the flavors can get absorbed in there. The word is isomerizing.
Say it with me now.
Isomerizing.
Isomerizing.
It means to convert the alpha acids into bitterness. It needs to be above 180 degrees for that to actually happen. So we're gonna let this sit for 30 minutes before we start cooling it down.
All right, who's ready for the most epic wort chill of all time? Fasten your fucking seatbelts. This is a tutorial within a tutorial. We are the inception of YouTube. 20-minute wort chill. Let's roll. All right, let's go ahead and add our 50-foot half-inch chiller to our wort. Let's go ahead and fill up a cooler with 30 pounds of ice. Takes my freezer 48 hours to freeze this much water. There's no secret to this. The more ice you have prepared, the faster your wort will get to a pitching temperature. Dump the ice into a cooler. Fill the cooler up with some water, enough to submerge your pre-chiller. Connect pre-chiller to main chiller and drink beers for 20 minutes with your friends. We're not asking, we're telling. Sanitize your carboy. We're using Catalyst Fermenter today. There's a link below with a review for this fermenter. Watching this video could change your life. For the worse. Transfer wort from boil kettle to fermenter. Get a gravity reading. Let's call it 1.063. So far, so good. Here it is. By far the most important ingredient in beer, the yeast. Just using that White Lab 001, aka Old Faithful. It's a ton of yeast. Our beer is probably gonna hit its final gravity after just a couple days. Hashtag LOL. Now do whatever it takes to keep this very close to 68 degrees for, let's say, 10 days. 14 if you have OCD. Now what? 2 weeks. What's a sweet boy supposed to do? Got it. Watch more videos from Homebrew for Life. We have videos on building DIY keg raiders, cloning sculpin, cleaning beer faucets, force carbonating corny kegs so you and your loved ones can drink beer in after just 30 minutes, $100 blind taste contests. Think you could tell the difference between Keystone Light and Ballast Point Kolsch? Put yourself to the test. After your beer is done fermenting, we're gonna go ahead and keg our beer and set it to 8 PSI for about 4 days. Now here it is, the follow-up conclusion part. Cheers, guys. You wanna start with it? Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. So we just had our beer fermenting for about 10 days and we had it at about 69 degrees. What do you think of the beer?
Pleasantly surprised. Usually when you're adding any kind of additions like this, you kind of need to make some alterations to the flavor profiles to get the balance of fruit character, lactose sweetness, and vanilla, and hop character, but I'm super happy with it. It's balanced, it's all there. You get the orange on the nose when you're drinking it. Got the nice creamy mouthfeel like a milkshake IPA would be.
Would you sell it at your brewery?
I would sell it at my brewery,
We
yeah.
can make it on you're gonna scale it up?
Yeah.
So we hit our final gravity. It was like 1. What do you think of the color?
Color's good, it's opaque. There's no doubt that that's hazy, nice and creamy. I like where the alcohol percentage is at because it makes it
Drinkable?
Yeah, like a lot of people are doing the double IPA
Right.
milkshake, and it's like, that's cool, but if you're trying to, pound beers,
Right.
you're not pounding 9.6ers and 10%ers all day.
One of the things I was kind of worried about in the beginning was that I was tasting the beer all throughout the fermentation process and even up to when I hit my final gravity. Even until this thing wasn't fully carved, it didn't taste like an orange creamsicle yet. And with it fully carved after 5 days or, 72 hours to a week, we finally got the taste I was looking for. It's pretty subtle. Like I've had
It's
IPAs or creamsicle IPAs where like This is just extract. Like this is like over the top candies,
The
melted slowly.
thing that I don't like about most of the ones I try, and this is all subjective, so
Sure,
you might
there's no
like
right
it
or
to
wrong.
taste like, you know, NyQuil,
Right.
if you're into that.
Sure.
But I want to taste a little bit of the hop character, you know, flavor aroma. I want to taste some of the fruit, and then I want to have a little bit of sweetness, but I don't want it to be too sweet, because if you're pounding beers, you don't want it to be crazy sweet. So
Right.
It's got to be refreshing, even though it's like a milkshake IPA. So it was, and then it's like, you know, if you're high alcohol, you got to have your bitterness up too a little bit to balance it. So then, you know, there's a lot of things you're trying to balance. I'm definitely a fan of the more mild characters and the nuances that are, you know, there, but I wouldn't change a thing about this.
I wouldn't change it either. It is subtle though, and it's subjective.
Yes.
You could always, if you want more creaminess, add more dairy or lactose powder, derived sugar from milk.
If you like it a little bit sweeter, add more lactose. If you want more vanilla character, you could add, you know, 3 beans instead of 2. If you want more orange, you could add 2 ounces instead of 1. For me, I think that would kind of throw everything else out of balance, but again, it's kind of up to you. But for just kind of throwing this thing together from looking at other recipes, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked off it too. The do's and don'ts, you know, best way to learn anything is trial and error. Do it yourself, screw up.
Or sometimes you try it and you don't screw up.
Sometimes you try and you don't screw up. Thanks for watching this week's video. Follow us on Instagram or Facebook and Instagram. We have each of those, Twitter, MySpace, AOL Instant Messenger. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and name this beer Orange is the New Barrage. But again, post a clever name in the comment section below. Winner will get a shout out in the next video. Thank you all for watching this week's video. Huge shout out to Chris from Battle Mage Brewery in Vista, California. If you guys are ever in North County, be sure to check out his establishment. Tune in next week where we make a kettle sour. Or don't tune in. I don't know. Live your life. Check out last week's video for an in-depth tutorial on how to host the worst party ever, featuring the smelliest food in the world. And as always, cheers to eating good and drinking good. Mondo, take us home. Don't be nervous.
Thanks
Or smile.